So, it needs to be made known that I supposedly have a court case for circuit court in Mountain View, Arkansas, Tuesday. Unless I have video in my possession of the felony charge of me resisting or assault on a correctional officer for barely resisting when I got into the jail, when I am not going to be at that court date. Period. Unless that video is in my possession, I cannot go to that court date. There's no doubt about it. There is a plot to have me incarcerated with a felony or worse. That video is the only thing I can have that proves I did not commit a crime. I did not do a thing to get charged with a felony and put in prison. And if I show up there, they're gonna give a rhetoric that fits their narrative, and anything they say, I can't dispute it. They can throw the book at me. They can put me in prison and make me a felon just like this. Gray Dillinger out of Melbourne has been paid, I don't know how many thousands of dollars supposedly, to defend me in this case. I should have that e-discovery. Nobody got hurt. No big deal. Barely resisted. All I wanted. The only reason I resisted in the first place is I wanted to speak to an attorney before I got put in a cell about the events that took place earlier that day. I am around Stuttgart, Arkansas. I have nowhere to go, nowhere to live, no way to shower, no way to wash clothes. I have no way to, I have nothing. Anything, any of my possessions can be stolen out of this truck. I have no way to keep it secured. My father has had, keys made to it. There could be multiples. I can't secure any of my belongings, and I cannot live comfortably anywhere. There's nothing I can do. I've been trying to hunt. I've been trying to live my life. I've been trying to buy a camper or a motorhome, something to where I'm not reliant on another person, another human being, to let me take a shower at their home, let me cook some food at their home, or etc. I'm being forced to live a very tough life, and it's all designed so eventually, if I do this for another month, I'll be skin and bones, I will be nasty, I'll be dirty, all of my clothes will look like shit, I'll have to go wash them in the river or something. And that's the thing, anything that I buy, soap, anything that I could use to keep a form of lifestyle or what have you, etc., can be taken out of this truck at any time, whenever. Anytime I go to bed, go to sleep somewhere, got to get out and sleep in a barn with a air mattress, passed out, and they come in there, whoever my dad has assisting him, or if it's him himself, my mom, whoever she's got, I don't know. I'm tired of guessing who all they've got caught up in this egregious fucking situation. But they can just get anything out of my truck. They can literally do anything they want to me, and I have nobody, not one person, to support anything I say. So this is what I have to go to. I have to resort to social media, YouTube, and hope and pray somebody somewhere sees the inconsistencies in whatever it is they have to say, when they will have to hopefully answer for whatever it is that they've got going. You know, hopefully someone intelligent enough will know, acting a little weird, you know, saying some things that aren't consistent and being very psychological with how they answer questions and, you know, respond to what I ask and say and things like that. Hopefully that'll get noticed. And I'm just relying on these posts, even though there's access to almost every account I got, and this can be edited and I'm sure it can be deleted. Hopefully somebody somewhere will be able to investigate and be able to see what is taking place, what's been deleted, what is, you know, the things that went on, the videos, any videos that I made of myself in the summer of 2021 has to be taken very, they have to understand that my psychological torture, that I was dealing with, my mental state was very, very, very disrupted because I did not understand what was going on and who was at the source of what was going on. As I said, the people closest to me will say I was using drugs. Well, subpoena my phone records. Look at my Facebook messages, subpoena my phone records, do all that. Find that. I can show you, it can be proven how many times any kind of extracurricular drug or mind-altering substance, marijuana, anything was purchased. And it's a very, very small amount. I can prove it. People don't want to prove that. People don't want to show that, oh man, you know, yeah, I'm going to tell on my buddy here, yeah, I got this from him, and this is when it happened, blah, blah. That isn't something that they want to show anybody. But if it comes down to it, and it has to be put out there, so I can prove what they're saying is not true, man, so be it. I'm liable to be long gone by then. When I say long gone, I'm not sure how I'll be able to survive this. I really don't. I don't have any resources. Everything that I have and everything that I'm doing is almost for naught. And I really, really, really wish I think there are people who know me well enough and that really, really don't want to see anything bad happen to me and don't want to see a demise of some kind. But I think at some point, enough people that know me and that have been around me, that have something to say about all this, will have to answer questions from someone who's more important than me. When I question somebody about something and they lie about it or they mislead me or etc., it's not that big a deal. But I don't think they are going to lie and go down with whatever's taking place. You know, whenever this gets brought to light, what my parents know and have done, and when all that gets brought to light, they're going to have to bring other people into, you know, verify what they're saying is true and what have you. There's going to be some inconsistencies. There's going to be some lies told, man. And I hope that some people are smart enough to not tie themselves up in it and go down for something they didn't do or whatever because of some agenda my parents have going, or I mean, whatever this is, they know about it. they are most likely the heads of what, you know, I don't want to say that they're the brains behind it. I do believe that they've had some instruction somewhere about like what to say or how to answer my questions I have for them, or how to answer something that, or how to respond to something I say. I really, really, really don't know where to go or who to turn to. It's currently, excuse my headliner, this is a 1996 Z71 that I've had since I was 18 years old. I'm 31, and 11/29, December 10th, and I am going down what's called River Road towards the direction of Casco, Arkansas. I have to stay somewhere where I have service. I have to not drive around constantly and waste fuel. It's raining, it's very nasty out. I basically had to drive around last night. I didn't know where to go. I was going to go to some WMA ground and camp out, but I needed to stay close to Stuttgart so I'd be able to find out if a part for a motorhome would be in stock somewhere, and I could maybe possibly buy this motorhome that a buddy of mine's dad has had since he passed away. And I get there. Of course, the part's not anywhere in stock in town. It's supposed to be there Monday at O'Reilly's. I just don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to do it. It's not very good hunting weather. All I've got is my longbow to hunt with. I just have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. Even if I was to kill a deer or some squirrel or something, I doubt I could find any wood to cook on that's dry. You know, it's definitely obvious that the resources and the money and the time I have right now it's being forced to be used and burn up and stuff, man. It's not something that I can keep up having to live like this. Well, right now I'm, you know, wearing decent clothes. Right now I'm wearing a poncho. My clothes are fairly clean. I'm you know, I look alright. I'm pretty well shaven at the moment, but for too long, a razor will come up missing. I'll be forced to buy another one or look rough as shit. My clean clothes will get dirty, obviously, from wear. Don't have a way to wash them. Might either have to buy new clothes to look clean, to look presentable. This is all being done intentionally, so I will fit whatever narrative they're trying to write for me. Just because a lot of people go by looks, they go by first appearances, they go by, what do you see? The first thing you see when you see, this. I automatically start assuming this, that, or the other, right? Well, don't assume anything. I have done nothing to no one. The only thing I've done is cared too much and want to live my life. And like I said, for whatever reason, my folks don't want to see that happen. I'll be updating this channel as much as I can. My name's Jacob Cole Barnes. I'm originally from Stuttgart, Arkansas. I've lived in Mountain View, Arkansas for the past few years. Several. I'm not going back to Mountain View, Arkansas to live. I don't really want to live in Stuttgart. I'm trying to find a way to get a hold of an attorney or find a job, do something where I can make progress towards resolving this and finding out the truth. And I have no idea who to trust or who to turn to and how to go about it. If I email the FBI right now, I have no idea that would go through. I have no idea. There's nothing that says that gets through to anybody. I contacted the FBI some last year, or supposedly did. My networks, my Wi-Fi, my internet, my phones all have shit on it that is not supposed to be there, and it's controllable apps, and it's not legitimate applications, and it's not legitimate programs. I don't even know if I type in a certain website, it may bring up a different one. Like, it looks like that website. It's makes you think it's a website for this law enforcement or that law enforcement or whatever, but it could be a created one to look like it. There's no proof that any kind of assistance that I'm trying to reach out to, or authority figures I'm trying to reach out to, will receive anything I send them. Someone has access to all of my accounts, all of my emails, all of, even this channel right here. But hopefully there will be a footprint, there will be a definite pattern of suspiciousness that has taken place with here recently. What I'm posting now, what I'm doing, what I'm writing now, not what I got posted last year, not what I was recording last year. Nothing last year. I validity in what I had to say is questionable, but that's because I did not think my wife, my dad, or my mom, or I didn't think that they honestly had anything to do with what was going on, and didn't know who else would be doing it. Now that I know for a fact that they are involved, now I know for a fact that they are aware of what's going on. They know who else is helping or whatever. They are very much so aware of what's happening. Makes a lot more sense. It adds up way more, and like I say, because that's who I communicate with. My mom, my dad used to communicate with my wife. I don't really know who else to suspect as far as who would be helping them carry out this mission to ruin my life and have me put away or dead, which is honestly what it is. I thought it was a unconnected third party that I may not even know who they are, and that my family even was in the scope of their attack. I do believe that audio of me has probably been kept track of and maybe edited by them. I don't want, and here's the thing, even video of me doing anything, here's the thing, I have pretended to partake in certain, I don't want to say activities. What they are going to fall back on to explain my rationale and my suspicious thinking is going to be drug use, marijuana, whatever they got to say. I have done certain things to make them believe that's the case, that I was doing something, because that's when everything would increase. Their questioning and their behavior would change if I would give them a little opening, a little opportunity to increase their suspicious behavior. So therefore, I noticed that. I said, okay, I know what I'm going to do. Every time this happens or that happens, they change their behavior. So I'll let them believe that I'm doing whatever it is they think I'm doing. So they will change their behavior. So they will react differently. And like I said, it worked. It's how I figured out that they were aware and were involved with this. And were the whole time. I just could not convince myself, and did not want to believe it, and it didn't really, like I said, didn't even really think for 1 second in 2021, especially when this all began, that they would ever have a reason to ever do anything that was happening to me. That out of all the people in the world, it could not be my family, because they love me, I love them, I'd do anything in the world for them, and they at least say they would for me. Now I've discovered some information that maybe they could benefit with me being gone, me being incarcerated, me being discredited in what I say. I have to speculate a lot on some things, but one thing I know for sure, all of my phones that I bought last year and this year were in an attempt to, I thought if I bought another phone or if I got another number, etc., maybe I could escape them having access to my stuff and having access to my accounts and being able to see everything I type, etc. Keyloggers and, what's the word? I forget some of the terminology. I'm not technologically advanced as far as I'm somewhat computer savvy, but man, I had to learn a lot about what was taking place on my devices to be able to understand what was happening. I don't enjoy learning about that. It's not something I like. I would rather discuss muzzle velocity and fishing, hunting. It's where I'd rather spend my time. I don't need to know about hacking and how to get someone's information off their phone or whatever. That's not something I'm interested in. I had to learn a little bit about it to be able to find out, how to see these traces that are left by the infiltrators, quote unquote. And like I said, they will use my vernacular. They'll say I speak in different accents. They'll say anything they can about me to discredit me. And at times, I will change up my form of speech or how I speak to someone in particular or what have you. I've always done that my entire life. It's just, I adapt to my surroundings for the most part. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people do that. I do think a lot of people do that. But anything and everything that they have at their disposal, that they know about me, will be used against me no matter what. I want to say this. I think I really, really, really think my wife needs to be able to speak to someone she can trust if and when something ever happens. My wife, my ex-wife, sorry, I think she was maybe forced or threatened or etc., to do certain things or say certain things and lie about me in certain ways at times. I'm not 100% sure, but it's very possible she'll go along with everything that my parents say. It's very possible that she'll lie and twist the truth and discredit everything I say and make me look irrational and out of my mind. And that's because she was around me more than anybody else, especially, the past several years we've been married, but last year specifically. She was the one that was around me, had eyes and ears in my home, and could be used to say he was doing this, he was doing that, etc. My mom, my dad weren't around me enough to know anything I was doing or saying or whatever. All that information had to come from her. And when I made her leave, which my father and mother were so against, they could not. My mother threatened to try to get me put in jail if I made my wife and daughter leave my home in Mountain View, which when she took my father to court when I was a kid to make me leave Mountain View and come to Stuttgart, no one tried to put her in jail. They wanted her to stay in my home and be there because otherwise I was going to be by myself in there. I was going to not have anybody around all the time that could say I was irrational or acting strangely, etc. And that caused a problem. Just like recently, I have barely been around anybody for any amount of time to be significant. And these people haven't seen me do anything but hang out, talk, and try to be normal. Maybe explain some of the stuff that's going on that has me worried to death, but that's it. As much as I need a support system of some kind, being by myself is almost safer in a way, because they can't reach out and contact whoever it is that's been around me and say, look, you're going to say he was doing this and this and this, and then, because they have no way of knowing what I do and where I go and how I go there, how long I'm there for, or whatever, unless I tell them, right? Or they have a way of knowing, but if they get asked, well, how do you know he did this and went there and did this and yada yada? If I didn't tell them, they can't reveal their ways of knowing. If they do, then that will definitely incriminate them. Yeah. All right. Just know that they know what I got going. They know what I'm doing. They know what I say and what I'm, blah blah. And I don't have nothing going, but trying to get them the justice they deserve, which is, there's no amount of justice that will suffice for what they have done to me. They deserve the maximum penalty for whatever it is, what all the charges that could be put on them is probably astronomical, and should be, because they have nothing but themselves and their interests as number one priority. Well, I've talked enough for this clip, it's 30 minutes on the outskirts of Stuttgart, Arkansas. I mean, I need to find a place I can bathe. I just do not know what I'm supposed to do here. I go to Dodge's this morning. I mean, they're gonna say that, he was seen going in this gas station at this time, and he bought this, that, and the other, yada yada, at different hours of the night or what have you. It's not easy sleeping in this truck with my dog, with bags of clothes, hunting gear, things of that sort. It's not easy. It's not comfortable.